We've talked about the lack of employees throughout this entire pandemic, and recently there's been a big lack of school bus drivers. For one school district, it's actually getting worse. Yesterday, the Gooding School District announced they were forced to cancel school today because of a, quote, lack of qualified bus drivers. We wanted to know what that meant because that, well, kind of had a little hitch to it. This afternoon, they announced the school is also going to be canceled for the rest of the week because of that. The shortage, though, isn't because of the pandemic, as Katya Stepovic explains.
The school playgrounds are quiet, the crosswalks deserted, and the buses sit idle in the bus barn after Gooding Elementary, Middle School, and High School shut their doors.
Our hope is that Monday we can be in school again.
Spencer Larson is the Gooding School District Supervisor who ordered this messaging to be sent out to all parents, students, and staff, stating that due to a continued lack of qualified bus drivers, schools will be closed for the rest of the week.
It, I guess, really started at the beginning of the year, over the summer when we were coming back. We didn't have enough bus drivers, period, and so we had to condense and consolidate routes. We went from 11 routes to 8.
But the pandemic isn't all to blame for the lack of qualified bus drivers at Gooding schools. Last year, Larson says the district purchased the buses from the Cheney Bus Company because the owner was retiring. The district put out a busing contract for bid and got no responses. So their only option, if they wanted to keep providing transportation, was to purchase the buses themselves.
Last year was the first year that the district has run their own busing. We had contracted with Cheney Bus for decades. And so this was all new. And, unfortunately, there were some bus drivers that were also ready to retire. We've tried to hire drivers. It has not been easy.
To make things even harder, a recent spot inspection uncovered that while all current Gooding bus drivers do have the proper CDL licenses, none of them participated in the annual safety training, which has to be done to meet all legal requirements, disqualifying all current bus drivers.
Part of our decision to cancel school when we didn't have any drivers that were qualified, this is to give us time to make sure all the necessary paperwork's in place, the trainings are in place. We have to follow state laws as well. We just weren't doing that apparently. And so we're putting things in place so that we can be compliant.
The district has never had to run their own transportation system before. And Larson says mistakes happen, and he's happy that it was caught now. But an anonymous viewer who sent a tip to KTVB says this could have been prevented. This is what they claim.
The reason for having no qualified drivers is because the superintendent canceled training that's required to have qualified drivers twice. He declined the offers to reschedule. Now 0 drivers for the district are qualified. So tell me a little bit about that statement.
Well, I didn't read those statements. I'm not going to get into that actually. I know what happened and I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. So we're just not going to go there.
But it sounds like that might be part of the reason that you guys are experiencing this shortage right now.
Well, the reason we have the shortage is because we didn't, and of qualified drivers, yes, is because, that training didn't happen. That's the reason.
And were you the superintendent at that time when the training was supposed to happen?
Yep.
Regardless of the mishap, Larson says the training that didn't happen must take place during the rest of the week while classrooms sit empty.
We're doing everything we can to get them caught up, and this does not help that. It's unfortunate that we're in this position, but I just want to thank everyone for their patience and understanding as we work through this.
And even with the drivers that they have right now, they are down by about half. So they need at least 6 more new hires. And we will link that job application on our website, ktvb.com.
And they could be up and running by the end of the week if that happens.
Monday is the soonest they could be back.
All right. Thank you, Katya.